fellow human beings. Well, I'm assuming everyone's a human, at least 90% of us. But we're going to take a few minutes to talk about power and women's power. And you're probably asking, well, why me? Why this person standing on the stage could talk about power? Well, I've used it in very many ways. I was a combat fighter pilot. I flew in combat. I commanded in combat. I designed the training programs for Southern Europe in NATO. I confronted a 2-star general in front of the Undersecretary of the Air Force and lived to tell about it. As a major. So, I've also been a father of 2 beautiful girls. I am transgender. Today, what I do is political and social and legislative activism. I square off against legislators in committee, trying to make a better world. I work to get people elected, like this young lady sitting right down here, and get myself elected. So power is something that externally I talked about, but it's very different, the core power of a woman and what that is. I'm going to talk about that. And then I'm going to challenge you to find it in yourself. And then I'm going to challenge you further to go out and change the world. So what's power? Well, very simply, just being a human gives it to you because its basic definition is the ability to get things done, the capacity to do things. Everybody's familiar with a big masculine brawn power of physical strength. Women have physical strength too. That's how we give birth. But the core of a woman's power is her emotional intelligence coupled with her intellect. Our first example of hearing and seeing that was when Mama says, "Hey, get out of the cookie jar." And we're in another room, and she knows. Because we are in the cookie jar. So, the tragedy of what happens with women's power is most of us have experienced losing it. We lose it in many ways. Some of it's tragic. We get raped. We are socially put in our places, either physically, sexually, or mentally abused. Everyday ways, though, we are also put into our place. We get paid 80 cents on a dollar. There's a glass ceiling. We couldn't even vote till 1920. And then when we got married, all of what was ours became his. So we're put in our place. I remember when I was growing up and how I lost my power. I was standing on the edge of a playground and watching all the other children play and knowing I was different and knowing that that was not safe. I couldn't be who she was. I couldn't be who she is. Society then and society now doesn't accept a woman like myself being powerful. We have our place. And we get outside of that place, and the world works to put us back. And I came to a place in my life where I had a choice. I either let that girl be, or I die. She lives, or I die. I chose life. And how did that girl standing on the playground come to be standing here talking about power? Well, it's a long journey. I lived nearly 36 years before I decided that I needed to do something about this. And I locked myself away. And I broke out of that vault in my mind. And the way to do that is to look inside yourself and decide that I'm worthy, that I am something of value, that I do have power. And a very kind of physical way to figure out what woman's power is to, everyone, I'm going to invite you to participate in this. Sit up straight. Yes, mom's right, sit up straight. Visualize pulling a string from the top of your head and setting your shoulders. Now, a woman's power's shoulder set is different than a man. A man's forward. He pushes himself, his chest out. A woman's back, it's down. And when you're feeling your power, your shoulders are back. A woman, typically, if she's not, she rounds her shoulders. She goes into herself. If Mama was standing here like this with her shoulders back, you better be listening. And a woman's power can be expressed with that. She can give you a little smile. She can cock her eyebrow. All in very subtle forms of communication. But that, coupled with your words, you could walk into a room and change the energy of that room just by the fact that you, as a woman, have accepted who you are and you are willing to use your power. When we as women do that, we do it in a way that first is an acceptance of ourselves. And that's the next challenge for all of us. How is it that we decide that I have worth? It's not easy. We as women, we're going to cry. It's going to be painful because you have to go back into the deepest, darkest recesses of your life and find that spot where you lost your power and think about it and make a decision that I'm not going to accept it any longer. And I'm going to be who I am because I am. And then once you've done that, now you face a challenge because our society needs to change. We need to no longer accept the fact that we as women are less than. So for those of you who can, after you've checked and found yourself, now the challenge is go into the world, help other women, and change society. Thank you.